And are they next to like a karate studio?
Yes.
I think any restaurant next to a karate studio.
It's going to be shady right off
Amazing.
the bat
Wait,
and
what?
so delicious.
Because they give the animals to the students to beat up, and then they bring
It
it over to them.
tenderizes them, yeah.
Yeah, exactly. But Wings on Run is a pretty decent place. I used to eat there when I lived on that side of town a couple years ago. Because they used to deliver like super late. So you could have like a party, Super Bowl party, something like that.
I cannot wait to read some of these first 1 stars on Yelp. Some of these are already like, oh, this is short and good.
A lot of them too are I'm just guessing. I haven't looked at them, but I'm gonna take a guess that a lot of local Q.
There's probably going to be some digs on the food in general.
I would think the digs on the food, but also just like the atmosphere in general, right? Because like that is what the big reason a lot of people go to this place.
It is an interesting atmosphere. It's kind of a weird. Wait, are we recording it?
A little bit.
Okay, yeah, it is an interesting mix of like young, kind of millennial, like our age group, young professionals, but then also like mixed in some older folks that are like locals who are like from Greenville, who are like in their 40s and 50s and up. What's up?
I was gonna give a drink.
Yeah.
But yeah, because it used to be when I was it was Stack's Pepper Mill.
Oh.
And then they shut down, and then they converted it into the big space that it is now.
It's huge.
With local, and they came out at a perfect time
it's
too.
Bigger too. They just
Yeah.
they expanded into the next door area. It's it's like a smaller bar that like you can have.
It's a private area, yeah, for like events.
Well, no, it's also like I think you can.
Oh, it's a family restaurant now on that side. You can bring kids on that side, which
can
for the
bring
longest
kids in.
time they were adults only.
That's right.
They
would check
charted
your-
everyone who came in the door.
Yep.
Yep.
So the nice thing about it is so they also came in at a perfect time in Greenville per se. Like I think they were created right before like the downtown boom surge with like new buildings, like the one building and new restaurants and so on. So they just kind of came at this point where like downtown Greenville was getting like a little not overloaded, but like a lot of new things where this place was just right on the outskirts, which was like the anti-downtown
Haywood.
people, right? Like, well, you can't park downtown. Well, come to local Q because there's parking here. So whatever.
Also, Haywood has like a bunch. I mean, there's a bunch of apartment complexes right off of Haywood. So
I mean, to me, local Q now is still downtown. Like it's not city center, but that's still Greenville.
yeah, you wouldn't walk there, but it is close enough to be like, it's a quick Uber drive.
You know how Charlotte,
ride.
you know how Charlotte has all these little like neighborhoods, right?
Sure.
Like you wouldn't go to city center from Noda.
No, not necessarily.
You
yeah.
might drive there, but I think Greenville is going that way.
Yeah,
Like because it's a
we're
city
spreading
built
out a
around a
little.
highway, so it's always going to be a little sprawling.
Sure.
And as it keeps growing, we're never going to be Charlotte, but yeah, I just feel like that's sort of the way we're going to go. It's going to be East North neighborhood. It's going to be Overbrook. It's going to be downtown.
But Yelp, local Q is definitely like one of those places that's it's centrally located to a lot of people who would live off of the highway, off of 385. But also, like if you're near downtown, you would like local Q is still a good spot to go to. And honestly, it's like close enough to my work that it's literally like 7 minutes from the door. And we've definitely gone there after work before. And
Yeah,
had a couple.
That's good.
Beers.
It's also a great like start the night spot.
Yeah.
You know,
Absolutely.
Friday night, go home, shower up, go grab a beer and some food. And
There's
play
Ping
some
pong,
games.
indoor cornhole, hockey, air hockey,
Pool
darts.
tables,
Yeah.
all the board games you could ever freaking want.
Great bathroom to do coke in. Just really
Yeah.
good
Several
stuff.
bathrooms to do
Right.
cooking, yeah.
Right. Well, sometimes you gotta get
Yeah.
a bang out a couple.
I said start the night.
Well, once you start, you gotta keep
Right.
rolling. You gotta do
Keep
a couple more
going.
bumps all night. Yeah.
This is Local Q in Greenville, South Carolina, and this is 1-star reviews with Andrew Van, Caleb Wesman,
Yo.
and Larry Simonson.
My dad is wings.
and we ate him so well. And I got a good review here. Too much spice on everything! Exclamation point. I got fried green tomatoes. The dough was undercooked and they were wet and slimy. The pulled pork barbecue was too spicy. I could not eat it. It was super salty. The beans were even spicy, and the wings and the fries. The wings were chewy and undercooked. The fries were ... You guessed it, spicy. The sauces they gave were spicy.
I think you're reading this wrong. It's spicy.
Spicy with flavor is one thing, but spicy for no reason? Question mark? I will pass on the food here. I ordered through Bite Squad. Otherwise, I would have taken it back.
The hilarious part about this is by spicy, they probably just mean pepper.
Yeah.
There's pepper on it.
This sounds like someone who's weaker than my wife when it comes to spice. And my wife does not like spice at all. My wife, when we get
topical.
when we get Thai food, she literally is like, "Can we just leave it off?" Yeah, that's that kind of person. But this person sounds way worse than that.
Sounds like your wife doesn't like Thai food, and you should stop ordering it for her.
Yeah. Can we like?
I have to get my own spice. I have like my own little rack
Can you
that I
just
bring.
put in the notes American not spicy so that they know?
but
White.
Mayonnaise.
So we were just raving about the wings just a second ago, and like to me, like the wings don't have any spice. They're smoked.
They have like a dry rub on them, but they're not spicy.
Not
They have
spicy
some
at
salt
all.
to
It's
them,
like a
and
Cajun flavor, kind of.
then yeah, ish.
But that's not spicy.
That's not
No.
spicy. Yeah, I don't
That's
know.
Paprika.
The pulled pork having spice in it. I don't think they add.
I think
spice
the
to it.
reason, quote unquote, that they're spicy because it's spicy for no reason. The reason is that you're a huge pussy.
All right,
I got one. Okay, you go. You
okay,
go.
I got one that has nothing to do with the food, in fact, and it's pretty short. If you like undermining racism and ignoring misogyny, this is the place for you.
Sweet.
Chock full of unsafe spaces for minorities and women. White
What?
men should come here. Everyone else should steer clear.
Well, I'm a white dude, so I'll be going.
I'm not a white man, and I go there.
Yeah.
What?
Asian's better than white, though.
Stop.
Can you make that a campaign and run it, please?
Yeah, no problem. Andrew Yang 2020. Asian's better.
Topical. Wait, hold on.
No, I went there quite a bit before the whole COVID quarantine thing. Like, in fact, my
Did you
friend.
feel unsafe?
No, my friend was actually the assistant manager there for a long time, Star, and she always made it welcome. And like everyone, like I had like events there and stuff like that. Like that's crazy.
I'm trying to interpret, like, listeners, as we've said before in the show, you try to like glean things about a place from both the
Right.
good and bad reviews. I have been there on like later in the evening when like there's like a couple of like older guys who are hanging out at the bar, maybe kind of doing that thing where they like hit on the bartender, and it's always like a couple of girl bartenders. I'm wondering if they're picking up on something there. Yeah, I mean that could be some
That's
of the misogyny.
typical bar. That's okay.
Well,
yes,
should
it
we be
is, but
okay
it's-
with that?
The
but it's
bartender
bar
didn't sleep with
culture.
me, so
Should we
I'm
be
gonna call this place racist and misogynist, guys. All right.
Yeah.
So here's the deal.
Sounds like somebody had a bad
Here's the deal,
experience,
Larry.
maybe.
No, we should not be okay with actions, right?
Right.
But hitting on a bartender is part of the deal about going to the bar, right? He's single. He's 45. You're a pretty girl, and you're waiting on him. He's going to hit on you.
Yeah.
I don't think that's misogyny. That's horniness.
Yeah, it's still not great.
It's
kinda
not
get
like
it.
it's not like we should be rallying for that to happen, but I just feel like it's not something you
We're
can
also basing this
really
off of-
change.
This is also basing us off of
One
a-
idiot on the internet.
one person on the internet who we have no idea why they left this story.
Well,
why
here's
they left
another
this-
idiot. We walked right next door from the hotel with a beer in our hand, by the way, misspelled, threw it out when we got there and was told we couldn't eat there. So stupid, from out of town. They must not need the business.
That bouncer saw you coming in with alcohol and was like, "No, bad sign. That's a red flag." That's exactly what happened.
Yeah.
That bouncer was like, "No, they're already drinking. I already see that you're drinking before you come in here. I have no
Right.
idea what kind of state you're in."
Yep. They are pretty strict about carding, and they're pretty strict about
if
being
they
drunk when you come in. They're very
Didn't you-
serious about it.
Didn't you come with me one time and you had a couple drinks and they kind of turned you away at the door? Was that you that happened?
I never got turned away at the door, but I got kind of questioned.
Yeah.
Like,
Yeah, that's what I'm
hey, are
remembering.
you okay? And I was like, yeah, I've had like 2 beers, man, but I didn't drive here. And they've been like, well, keep it under control. We're gonna keep an eye on you. And I was like, okay.
That definitely was with me.
But-
I do
Yeah.
remember that.
But here's my deal. That place is really big. It's really crowded. There's a lot of like games and activities and stuff, and I can see where
people
I
can
don't
get
know-
rowdy.
Yeah, and I don't know if this is true or not, but I would imagine that they've probably had some issues in the past. It's an area where if they do have issues, the cops are going to be there immediately.
Oh yeah, yeah.
And so I think they got enough business. Better safe than sorry. They literally card every single person coming in the door. I'm
I-
like, dude, I have a mustache. What
I
are you
have
talking about?
definitely shown up there and seen like a door window busted and like a piece of plywood
Yeah.
over it before. And who knows? Like it could have been like somebody accidentally dove for a ping pong ball a little
Right.
too hard. But who knows? I mean, I could see the place getting rowdy.
Yep, they are serious about that stuff, and I don't know. I appreciate that a little bit. I've
Yeah.
been to Rays where like they don't care if you walk in with
Oh my
40
God.
beers, so it's it's a little different.
Do you know, fun story about Ray's, the bouncer there years ago when we first moved to Greenville was a guy that I did Taekwondo with at Clemson.
Sweet.
He used to actually like teach it there. He was like this really large dude. And I'm blanking on his name because I haven't seen him in years. But like the guy was the most
Bruce?
flexible. No, I don't
Okay.
think
never mind.
so. But he was like the most flexible big dude you'd ever
That's
seen.
awesome.
Like he's like 250 and like his leg could just go like vertical. I mean, it was nuts.
I've always wanted, like I've seen
That's why Rays would let people in because they'd have that guys like
that
that,
guy's
who,
like,
he
he
could
can
kick your
kick
ass.
you. He can just
Yeah.
literally.
You
kick
wouldn't
your
suspect
ass.
it, but he would do it.
He would kick
So
your ass.
I got a good one here.
Do it.
It starts really fun.
As they always do.
Sergeant Graybeard
What?
walked around us sitting at his bar for
Is
10
this a
minutes.
story?
Yeah, then elbowed a beer and it spilled all over my husband and I. It's the night of 4th of July. I get it. Of course, as manager of his a manager of his stature would never apologize. After we moved quickly from our seats and were standing there, I asked for some napkins. He then handed me a roll of paper towels. His concern was for his own phone and making sure everybody who came in was carded. He had a doorman carding everyone. Great place. Inconsiderate, arrogantly managed. They're doing you a favor by taking your order. Sergeant Graybeard.
That's so good.
Sergeant Graybeard's Lonely Hearts Club Bar.
I got one for you here. I understand that this business has a 21 and over policy. I honestly do. However, I find it annoying that me and my 60-year-old uncle was refused service because he didn't have an ID on him. My uncle is way older than 21, and he looks like an old weathered catcher's mitt.
Aw,
If a person
Uncle.
looked young in appearance or even questionable, I could understand not letting them in. But a 60-year-old? Come on, guys. Common sense goes a long way in this world. If you give it a chance, I won't be back for this reason. So fun story about this. Andrew, you could probably attest to this because Chris Todaro has this conversation with us at the beginning of every season of Alchemy Comedy.
Yep.
Chris Todaro, who owns Todaro's Pizza. Usually we kind of split up all the tasks of discussing all of the like rules of the theater to all the new members and everything. One of the things is that we serve alcohol at the small bar at the entrance to Alchemy Comedy. And Sled doesn't give a shit if you look like you're old enough to serve.
Nope.
If you have a Sled agent come up to you and ask for a beer and you don't card them, you can get the
It's a
place
hefty
shut
fine.
down.
Yeah.
The thing is, Alchemy Comedy, we were renting that space within Coffee Underground, so we card absolutely everybody because
We wouldn't get shut down. It would be Coffee Underground.
we do not want to get Coffee Underground shut down because we like performing there and we like Coffee Underground.
Yep.
So, person who left this review, just FYI, it's not just a common sense thing. It's actually a liability and legal issue because if your catcher's mitt of an uncle turns out to be a Sled agent, then you're SOL. Like
Yeah,
these
they're
guys are
doomed.
shut down.
They're doomed. I've actually been in a gas station when they got hit with a sled sting, where some guys came in asking for cigarettes or whatever, and they didn't get carded because they're cops and they look like they're cops.
Right.
And the guy shut them down. So
Well, that's
I
kind of
get-
fucked up, actually. That's a little bit fucked up.
Yeah,
like
for
clearly,
cigarettes-
if you're wearing a uniform,
No, he wasn't wearing. I just mean he looks like a cop. Like,
Oh.
oh shit, you're a cop. Like I could tell.
yeah,
Like,
you're
not
burly
sus-
chested and clearly wearing body armor.
Not a solid reader. Like I can see.
Wait, that means
these
Caleb
things.
looks like a cop then.
Yes.
I do look like a cop. What are you talking about, man?
The mustache alone.
Honestly, if you like, kind of just like,
I
kinda
used to
puff your
drive a
chest
Crown
out a little.
Vic. I get it. It can be annoying to get carded,
Right.
and I've been pissed off before. But like, local Q's policy listeners, if you're going, they card you,
Here's
no
the
matter
thing.
who you are.
I would rather get annoyed at a place that's taking the responsibility of carding me to ensure the protection of the patrons, including myself, than a place that doesn't and risking some jackass underage punk who's going to most likely, more than the other adults, cause havoc in that kind of place, right? I mean, just saying.
Nothing worse than going to a bar full of 18-year-olds.
Yeah, I do
Nothing
not
worse.
miss college drinking.
It's actually the worst. It's so loud too. Why is it so fucking loud?
Because the louder you
we
are, the
were
more.
that.
What?
12 years ago, we were that.
I can't hear anything
Yeah,
anymore. You
because the
guys.
louder you are, the more likely you are to get laid. That's what we thought in our 20s, guys. All right.
Oh, I like your boobs.
What?
If that worked, I would have been drowning in pussy. Yeah, spoiler alert, I wasn't.
We normally don't read reviewers' names, but this one goes by Squirrel Nuts with a Z. Service for drinks was great. Game playing opportunities was 0. Folks thought it was their home/bedroom. Thought I was going to watch friggin' any time while had up next on a couple of several occasions. Thought I'd leave before there were troubles. Guess locals are alpha! Exclamation point.
Yeah, them Greenville Alphas. That's what we're known as. That's our hockey team.
Oh, dude, you just sound like a super introvert who has like no balls to be like, hey, are you guys done with that? Like that takes like 2 seconds.
Yeah, just strike up a conversation. It's fine.
Yeah,
are
that's
they
how you
gonna do,
meet
beat-
people.
Yeah, yeah. If they're like, we'll beat you up, you go to the fucking bouncer and be like, hey, these assholes are hogging the table. It's
Or you
not a
beat
big
'em
deal.
up.
Or you beat them up.
You beat him up.
Beat them up.
Hi, I'm Jason. What's your name? Squirrel Nuts.
Pretend to be a Greenville Alpha.
I'm a Greenville Alpha, which is like a New York Beta.
This one is a 1-star review that clearly was written before the section that we just discussed about, like, it's a slightly more family section.
On the one side, yeah.
Yeah, so this was December of 2018 that this was written. But I don't know that I can agree with this feeling. I can take my kids into Hooters, Twin Peaks, and 90% of the
Why
other...
are you doing
great
that?
parent.
And
Great.
90% of the other quote-unquote adult restaurants in the Tri-City area, but not local Q, was hoping to try this place out.
What other-
But guess not.
Guy's
What?
taking his kid to Bucks
Bucks,
Racks and
Racks,
Ribs.
All right, Junior, I gotta give you the food in the front area, but you know.
Why are you taking your kid to fucking Hooters?
Why do her boobs look hard?
You taking your kid to Femboy Hooters?
Oh my god. No. The kid going into Bucks, Racks, and Ribs. He's actually looking at breast.
This one is
She's really good on that pole.
that could be you
Does
one
Lust
day.
serve food? Do they have a buffet? Some strip
Dude, all
clubs
strip
have
clubs have
buffets.
food, right?
No, not all. Some do.
Oh.
Those are the good ones, though. When I want to go see someone dance, I get hungry.
College?
Yes.
Could you imagine seeing
Gender
a nurse one
studies
day
degree.
when you're in like the emergency room and you're like, wait a minute.
Wait a minute. I've seen your nips. They were nice. Can I
Cinnamon?
see them again?
Cinnamon?
I got two 20s here. Can I see your nips again?
This is a terrible line of reasoning, guys.
Absolutely. That went down
Call
fast.
me old fashioned, but I like titties.
Call me a male.
This one is similar vein, but completely different direction. So because I have a kid, and this, again, they started doing the family part at the beginning of this year, I believe. So right before COVID hit, they started opening that private event space they expanded into a family-friendly spot. So this is from 4 years ago. So because I have a kid and we were hungry, we couldn't eat here, bartender rudely told me and my husband that we had to go because we had a baby. She's only one. That's fine.
Oh, my God.
We will take our money and business elsewhere.
That's fucked up.
Like Hooters.
Well, one is not 21. Sorry, buddy.
Right.
So I got one here. Celebrating a friend's birthday, ordered food, had drinks, bought drinks for others, had a $230 tab, and they cut us off.
All right, yeah.
People took Uber or
Holy
had
shit.
People took Uber or at hotel across the street. We'll never go back. What, you don't like business? I would not suggest this place at all. So, dude, they cut you off. You were probably fucking wasted. I've been wasted. I've been cut off. I felt bummed out, but you were shit-faced. You had a $230 bar tab.
No shit.
You're drunk.
I don't think I've ever drank for like $50. $230?
Really?
Yeah.
I've
I'm
drank
cheap.
for-
I'm drinking White Claw in front of you right now. What did you expect?
I've had like $600 bar tabs before. Yeah, it's not good.
Guys, I work for a nonprofit. I can't afford that. So, they need to hire different bouncers. They claimed my ID was fake and refused to let me in. On top of that, they told me they were keeping my ID. This alone was outrageous, and they must have lost their minds if they think they're keeping my license. I'm quite a bit older than 21, and this is really messed up for the plans that night. The bouncer was extremely rude and cussed at me, and the manager wasn't much help either.
Damn.
Well, in his defense, not really. Sorry.
This is an old review. This is 2014. So this is maybe, I think they've done a little bit of renovation since this got posted. But Caleb, I think you'll like it. Was recommended to try it out after some friends went to watch the USA World Cup game. It's close to home, so I figure I'd give it a try. Smells like mold and grenadine as soon as you walk in the door. Pretty sure there were guys doing coke in the bathroom.
Yep, that was me. Sorry.
I recommend not going unless coke and filth are your style.
Well, then I'll be going. That's like my whole style. Coke and Filth is going to be the name of my first album.
Yeah, that's really good. Coke and filth. It definitely sounds like the name of like Chris Cornell, like Soundgarden.
Yeah.
Being yourself and no one else will say.
Coke and filth.
Cocaine and fuck you.
That's a pretty good Chris Cornell.
Thank you.
On the floor.
You guys are good singers. I'll do drums. I'll be the drums.
Drugs and wanting more.
This one is 1 star, and it just says to business.
Yes.
What?
That is correct. To business.
Yeah.
To business.
This guy is entitled, hold on, 1 star. Because they owed me 1 free game of pool. So you can go and play pool for free before 4 o'clock, and then after that you pay 75 cents per game in the little slot quarters.
or whatever.
Because they owed me 1 free game of pool at $3.59, they would not give it to me because they said their misspelled clock on their stupid ass computer said 4:02.
So first of all, I'm sure the clock on the computer is right. Second of all, dude, you're saving a fucking $1. It's $1. It's not even $8. It's $1, dude. Just pay the fucking $1. I hate fucking human beings.
I think we've started to. I think I've maybe cracked a little bit of the code on the racist part of it.
Go on.
The bar does not welcome everyone. A friend and I went to the the local queue. One word: the local queue. And this is what we found. Pictures attached. And it's pictures of the Jenga blocks, the giant Jenga blocks that are made out of 2x4s. Now, our waiter, Eric, started out okay. It was after we started ordering, he seemed to have gotten aggravated, to the point he stopped checking/serving us, and we had asked for another waiter. We then asked for another waiter to serve us, Chris, who was great, but he couldn't help but notice that Eric never came back to serve us. We put that issue to the side and started what we came there for, games. We reached for the Jenga bucket to find absolutely nothing but racist, offensive slurs on the blocks.
Those were also me, sorry.
My question is, how many people did this get by? These quotes on the Jenga blocks could have no way happened in one night. There was not even one block that said, please do not write on the Jengas, management. Now, I know the local queue did not write the blocks, but something that offensive of that nature, you mean to tell me not one employee saw it? No, not one person thought to remove it? Let's just say the Jengas confirmed with the shitty service what we had with Eric, that we were not welcome there. Now, granted, when we walked in there, all we saw was mostly white crowd. We should have taken the hint then. But meanwhile, we had just left #Friars, which had great staff and even attracted a more friendly audience. Granted, Friars is majority white as well. They definitely welcome diversity. So apparently, and I'm looking at some of the pictures.
Do we have any pictures of the Jenga blocks?
Yeah,
Any good
there's
ones?
a couple. One of them's kiss my white ass.
That's not racist. His ass is what?
One is N-word lover, but fully spelled out. That's not great.
What lover?
I'm not gonna say it.
All right, fine.
It's in
I
a lot
don't
of
get
rap
trick
songs.
you.
Did you hear
It's in a
about
lot of raps.
this is actually relevant to this conversation. Did you hear about the news story?
One says black cock, but cock is spelled with a K. So
Oh
that's
yeah,
interesting.
that's how I spell it. That's
in
how
your
you,
Google searches or what?
This is irrelevant to that note.
So maybe that's what that person, the first review we read earlier, maybe that's what they're picking up on. I don't know.
I'm sorry that people are racist, man. That's a bummer.
That sucks.
That's just immature people who and that was the thing. Yeah, I would tell that to management and get rid of the blocks or whatever, and the couple of them. But that's just dumb when people go into a urinal and they carve write on the That's not the really restaurant's fault unless you let the restaurant know to fix it or do something about it. Yeah, but that's not the image of the restaurant. That doesn't really make, you know what I'm saying? That doesn't justify that. Unlike this guy, John Falk, I don't know if you heard this story today about the Denver Nuggets and the Utah Jazz game last night. So John Falk is a play-by-play caller out there, and he tweeted, and his fingers were going really fast, and he did not apparently double check, but he tweeted, and all the world saw it, shot making in this Jazz N-word game is awesome. Murray and Mitchell going back and forth. What a game! Exclamation point. So he typed out the N-word, and I guess he didn't notice that autocorrect made the N-word rather than nuggets. So
here's the thing I know about autocorrect.
Yep.
It pulls from words you type a lot. So you use that word a lot in private conversation.
Absolutely.
So that's fun.
No saving grace there because we all
because it doesn't it'll autocorrect it'll throw random dictionary or you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Fudge, duck, but it doesn't use swear words unless
you use
that swear word quite often.
Well, I really wish that it would autocorrect would pick up the fact that I never am saying ducking. I'm always saying the other thing.
Clucking.
That's correct. I'm like, why stop
Docking.
ducking? I'm trying to say docking.
But back to the redemption moment of local cues. So I think we've all said really good things. Like there's a lot of fun things to do there: darts, pool, air hockey, indoor cornhole. There's ping pong. There's arcades. You can play the golf. What is it? The Golden Tee there. Yeah. There's 2 private rooms, including the private area. That's a whole separate bar and separate eating area.
I've been to a bunch of like I have some friends who do intramural frisbee in Greenville. We've definitely gone to like private events back there. That's pretty good spaces.
Some of the popular dishes I've seen, like build your own mac and cheese. You just get like a big ass thing of mac and cheese and put whatever toppings you want on there. You can put chicken, pork, you can put bacon on it, more cheese, whatever you want. The wings we've mentioned.
It's definitely Southern style mac and cheese. Like it's a very specific style. I like it a lot.
Very constipated afterwards.
Yes, very much so.
Yeah.
Their loaded fries are pretty good too.
Loaded fries are really good. And you can load those up however the hell you want to. And there's always really good specials.
It's a great spot to go, like you said, with a big group.
Yep.
Like table food.
Yeah.
I probably wouldn't go there like a one-on-one date or whatever, but
I don't think
big
so.
group, table food, fun activities. Like I said, a great way to start the night, get the energy up, have fun, play games, get a little sweaty, have a couple of drinks, leave before they fucking cut you off because they're going to cut you off.
They are going to cut you off. There was something mentioned in that last one too about kind of mentioning the servers, and there is something that it is a busy enough place. You don't really get one dedicated server.
No,
it's more like there are servers.
There's a lot of them.
They're just walking around looking to like kind of see does anybody need anything. So like don't feel bad if you got to like kind of raise your hand to like get someone's attention. It's
but
not,
don't be a dick and like snap your hands like a Karen or something.
Yeah,
like
but
that.
never snap at a waiter.
Right. Yeah, God no.
Well, the other thing too is a lot of people order at the bar and then go back to a table, so the servers don't necessarily know who ordered at the bar, whose table, whatever.
Honestly, they might be the best at like multitasking, coordinating
Absolutely.
servers that I think I've ever seen, just because they operate that way.
I can't wait until COVID's kind of over. We can go back as a group.
Oh, yeah,
I think we need to do a group night there.
Yeah.
Any listeners, you're invited, dude. Local queue, day and time to be determined. So just show up every night, and if I'm there, I'll be the loud one doing coke in the bathroom.
Join him.
Don't do drugs, folks.
Don't do drugs.
Lying.
Yeah. He's lying. He never does coke.
Or
Never does coke.
do it if you want to.
Although Caleb has lost some weight, so now I question.
Oh, that's a good point.
That's heroin.
Ah.